Hello everyone, welcome back to Vehicles Info India. I have come back with another interesting video today. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future videos. So today we are going to talk about top 5 rare, unique, crazy and abnormal looking vehicles in the Indian history of automobiles. So how often do you see these vehicles? Well, let's see what they are and what makes them unique. The first one in the list is Bajaj Tempo Hunseat. It's absolutely debatable as to which brand this eccentric vehicle belongs to. It was first made by Tempo, a German automobile manufacturer, but later homologated by Bajaj Tempo Motors in India to fit in Indian road conditions. It became Force Motors later. There has been a huge confusion with this vehicle among people or the ones who really are curious about the fact as to which company this vehicle actually belongs to, or whether it falls under the Tempo category or rickshaw. First off, Tempo is not a category but was the name of a German-based company formed in the year 1924 and made small military vehicles during the 1930s and 40s. But later, due to its massive usage in India, its name was stereotyped as Tempo by Indians, just like how Indians stereotyped all the new generation scooters as Scooty after TVS launched the scooter named TVS Scooty, which was specially designed for women. Another example could be Xerox, which was a pioneer in making photocopy machines, and due to its monopoly trade, it created a special place in people's mind and thereby being stereotyped as Xerox machines. Coming back to Hunseat, it looked quite funny with its lifted nose with the logo of Force Motors on and the exhaust pipe sticking out of it. It looked more of an auto rickshaw with bigger wheels and was used by common people for their daily commute on a shared basis. Although its production stopped long ago, it could still be found ferrying around in places like Kolkata, Himachal Punjab border, Pathankot, etc. Unlike other three-wheelers, it has a steering wheel and a gear lever, 4 forward and 1 reverse. It is employed with a 2-stroke 400cc petrol engine which offers a power of 15 bhp, pushing it to 50 to 60 km per hour depending on the road conditions. The second vehicle in the list is Hindustan Motors Trekker. The vehicle was one of the most obnoxious one in the history of Indian automobiles. However, it served its countrymen quite well, be it its passenger or its driver, due to its economical operations and maintenance. It remained quite popular among the commuters, mostly in the rural areas from the early 80s to the 90s. This unique piece of machinery could give out a maximum power of 38 bhp, pushing it to 70 to 80 km per hour, depending on the road conditions. It's normally seen with a foldable hood on, sometimes open. Also, some users used to get a steel roof welded with its body to avoid water entering it during monsoon. But it would reduce the speed and consume more fuel, as it sure was not designed to bear any extra load other than the permissible load. Many called it an ugly vehicle due to its poorly and casually designed aesthetics, but had no other options except compromising due to its great performance on regular short trips. But it undeniably was not a good looking vehicle and hence never considered by the buyers for their personal use. Although its production is discontinued, the old ones are still seen in some parts of Assam, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. The third one in the list is Maruti Omni high roof van. Among all the unique vehicles in the history of Indian automobiles, this gentleman has a special place. We barely see this car rolling around. In fact, I have come across many people who never saw this even once. People who own this or have owned in the past have a huge sentimental value attached to it. It's nothing less than a luxury car to them. The main purpose of this van having a high roof was to facilitate more space inside the vehicle. It was primarily designed for cargo and ambulance services, but later, due to its uniqueness and demand from customers, the company made alterations to the design to meet the requirements of a passenger car too. However, for a passenger car, the standard version without a high roof served the purpose to a great extent, and hence the standard one continued to remain popular among the buyers. Unfortunately, after being in production and serving the people of the country for 35 years, its production discontinued due to various reasons. Now, there is only one car in the van segment from Maruti named Eco. The fourth one in the list is Bajaj M80. Bajaj M80 was the first successful crossover bike in the Indian market. Its unique step-through design took the two-wheeler industry by storm in the 80s and 90s. It was conceived as a combination of a motorcycle and a scooter to facilitate both men and women to ride it with comfort. Men would ride it with a feel of a motorcycle without compromising on the power, with the ingress-egress facility. On the other hand, women could easily ride it without thinking of swinging leg over to get on a typical motorcycle. On the whole, it turned out to be an amazing concept. Its wheels and the rear part was like a motorcycle, whereas the front part like a scooter. It had a semi-fairing in front, which used to be usually in white or cream color. Unlike scooters, it was a chain-driven vehicle as the engine was mounted underbelly just like on a motorcycle. It was powered by a 2-stroke 80cc engine which could generate approximately 5 bhp of power. It had a 3-speed gearbox, hydraulic shock absorbers and leading link in front, and coil springs shock absorbers at the back. Another big advantage was it had huge amount of spaces in both front and back to carry a good amount of load on a ride. The fifth one is Sipani Badal. Another cranky car. We all know that everything in this world is inspired by something else, and this weird piece of machinery is an example of another inspiration. Even if you didn't know about this particular car, the shape of it must be somewhere there in your subconscious mind. Any guesses? Yes, Mr. Bean must have struck your mind. This is the very vehicle that kept overturning on the popular show Mr. Bean. Well, the fact is, this is not the very car that was used by Mr. Bean, but Reliant Regal, which was an English car. In India, it went by the name Sipani Badal, which was produced by Sipani Automobiles Limited based out of Bangalore, which obtained a license to manufacture cars from the British car company Reliant Motors. Hence, it looked so similar to the Reliant Regal, which was one of the essences of the popular Mr. Bean show. Sipani Automobiles Limited was an Indian automobile manufacturer formed in 1973 in Bangalore. They primarily manufactured subcompact cars with fiberglass bodies, and Sipani Badal was the first car to be launched by the company in 1976. It was a 3-wheeled, 3-door design, 2 doors on the passenger side and 1 on the driver's side. It was a spacious car that could accommodate 3 to 4 people with an ease. It was employed with a 2-stroke 200cc petrol engine that offered 12 bhp of power. There was another car by Sipani Automobiles called Dolphin, but as Maruti 800 was trending at that time, buyers chose Maruti over it due to its more power and endurance. And as a result, there was a gradual decrement in the sale of Sipani cars, resulting in their discontinuity. With this, we come to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you again soon with another interesting video. Until then, take care.